Allison, how are you? Welcome back. And hello, Nicholas. How are you guys doing? Um, I'm a tad bit buzzed right now. I had a little bit of very strong coffee this morning, and then I just went out for coffee with someone literally right before lunch, and I don't think I have ingested enough water. um, I'm going to be ingesting some right now and trying to get my buzz a little bit lower because that is absolutely going to affect the practicing today. You're good, Allison. I'm so glad to hear. I'm doing okay. I will say last night was really rough. It was a rough night of not a lot of sleep for John and me. So, that combined with the kind of extra buzz from the coffee. The coffee was delicious, by the way. But yeah, that the buzz plus the not actually enough sleep is definitely, uh, you know, I I don't expect that I will be playing at my 100% today. And I am just trying to remind myself that I can, be gracious with myself and understand that there are just some times in life where you don't get to choose some choices. you know, we would have loved to get a good amount of sleep last night, but it didn't happen. So yeah, I'm just kind of, I think, thinking out loud right now and trying to give myself some grace. I still want to play and I still want to, have fun. However, I think I need to be realistic with myself is really what I'm saying. So, let me move over here so I can see you guys in the chat. Let's see. Nicholas, you are practicing too. Lovely. What are you practicing? Can you let us know in the chat? Allison, you have a little break before studio class, and you saw that I'm going live, so you had to hop on and say hello again. Thank you. I appreciate it. Is that you today too? The not enough sleep, but also buzzed from caffeine. You're working on an embouchure and hand position change, so all of that put together. Ooh, with not a lot of sleep, not a lot of sleep. Cannot even enunciate today. Yeah, that's a lot. See, I have some, like, I can feel the buzz coursing through me, and I'm like, I'll show you what we have planned for today. Today's practice session looks like that. So we're just doing harmonics to just kind of like diagnose how we are feeling today. And then we're going straight into some technique work. So I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous about it, but at the same time, it's going to be what it's going to be. So Jennifer Higdon's autumn music for your woodwind quintet. Oh, that's amazing. Wait, that's so fun. Wonderful. Are you guys performing that sometime soon? Is that why you're practicing it? Are you guys rehearsing, performing soon? Well, what's the dealio here? What's the dealio? Okay. So, I do have my flute out here. I mean, you guys might have seen it earlier, but I do have my flute out. It was out because I was teaching all morning. Yeah, today's a very busy day. Teaching all morning, and then had coffee with a friend, and then did a quick lunch. I'm doing this right now, and then I do have a little bit of a break, but not really a break because I'll be working on other things, you know, editing, preparing for the 2 workshops that I'm doing at the Australian Flute Festival that is coming up in early October. And then I'm teaching another lesson, and then we're heading out to dinner with friends. It's a packed day today. It is packed. So yeah, I am, you know, this hour here with you guys is kind of my breather, actually, in between the day, because I always feel a lot more kind of like myself and rejuvenated after I've streamed with you guys. I don't know what it is about streaming. It relaxes me. So Donna, hello and welcome. You attended Ali Ryerson's jazz flute. Did I say Ali's name correctly? I've seen their name like many times, but for some reason I've never actually said it out loud. But their jazz flute masterclass in Carmel Valley, California. That sounds so fun. Was that this weekend? That's amazing. What did you learn? What's the most awesome thing you learned? Okay, you better head into the building and practice as well. Enjoy, Allison. Enjoy. So Nicholas, so it's a brand new quintet, so you'll see what you do with it. You guys just put yourselves together as a quintet? Is that what it is? And you might do a chamber competition for next year. Oh, please do. Chamber competitions hit different than solo competitions. I would take a chamber competition any day over a solo competition. There is just something so fun about competing with your comrades. You know, like these are your fellow soldiers in the trenches, you know? Like there's just something so insanely bonding about competing together. Please do it. Like, don't even aim to win anything. Just do it for the sheer fun of it. You know, like, oh my God, amazing. So you and the clarinet are new. The rest of the members were from before. Oh, wonderful. So there's like a little bit of a new dynamic going on. Is that right? Change of members. Ah, all right. Highly recommend doing the chamber competition. Like if you want to bond, that is a great way to bond. Like, oh, so good. Hey, Sean, how are you doing? Hello, Out of Sight. How are you? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, Vera Kosten. Hello, hello. So Donna, you still have so much to learn in jazz articulation. Jazz articulation. I don't know why, but I never really thought about that. So I don't know how many of you know. I refuse to learn jazz flute. I refuse to, because I want at least one aspect of flute playing that still preserves the magic for me. So yeah, I've never thought of jazz articulation. That's so cool. The more you learn, the more you need to learn. But it was a total blast. That's the thing about learning. The more you know you don't know. And that is legitimately the joy of learning. I think that it is fun. It is very fun to learn how to do new things all the time. Like, honestly, I think that's one of the things that makes being a human really fun, you know? If you think you know everything, honestly, that life is so boring. I think if you know everything, my God, you must be so bored. Like, why would you want to know everything, you know? Yes, Nicholas, very exciting. I'm very excited for you guys. I think that's amazing. So you guys did perform at Umami Fest last month. Woo! That must have been a nice bonding experience too, you know. So Sean, your weekend was mostly spent dealing with your cat's trip to Kitty ER. I'm sorry. That must have been insanely stressful. Is Kitty okay? Are you guys okay? Is everything fine now? you know, and if it's not, let us know how we can support from the sidelines here. You know, if you just need a place to, like, you know, kind of vent about it, we've got our Discord, you know, as you know, Sean. Send us photos of Kitty if you want to. Donna, improvisation is composition on the fly. So much fun. Very true. So the way that I've been looking at the Ibert concerto is essentially the backwards of that. So I've been exploring the Ibert concerto through the lens of, like, why did the composer make the choice that they made, right? And when you look at a composition that way, like a written out composition, you end up playing it much more like improvisation. So I can totally see where you're like, you know, the way that you are saying here that improvisation is composition on the fly. Absolutely. I can totally see it. That is legitimately how I've been sort of like analyzing the Ibert concerto. Hey, Michael, how are you? Hello, hello. Oh no, Kitty will be fine, but her tail is just a few inches shorter than it used to be. Oh, okay. Wishing your kitty the quickest of recoveries. Spoil her for us. Yes, spoil her for us. I hope that you and your wife can take some time to decompress from that, because coming into a week after a whirlwind weekend like that is always so rough. So, you know, whenever you can this week, please take it easy. Just like decompress, relax, take some time to yourself. Yeah, I am all too familiar with what it's like to try and jump into normal life after a weekend of absolute trauma. So, like, please take some time to yourself. Yeah. Oh. I am glad at the very least that you can tell us. I'm very honored whenever, I know it sounds really weird, but I am very honored to know that this is a safe space for you guys to, you know, share not only the ups, but also the downs in life, because life is ups and downs. So you'll put a pic on the Discord. I think we will all love that. So yeah, wishing your kitty the best, fastest recovery, and good decompression time for you and your wife. All right. Okay, I better start practicing a bit. Yes. So I'm feeling the buzz go down a little bit. We are going to stand this time. I can feel that I would rather have myself standing. Last week was a little bit special because, you know, I was on my time of the month. But yeah, this time around though, I am feeling pretty good. So I do want to stand. Let's get that going. I am really enjoying using my lapel microphone again, especially now that I know how to, you know, how to use it so that it actually sounds good. Wow, it took me like a really long time to figure out how to make it sound good. Turns out it's just the cord. This is the receiver. I just needed something like a long cord. That's it. It's just the cord that it comes with is so short and it just picks up on every single possible interference. Elevator music. Exactly. Okay, so let me put the second camera away and we are going to start with some harmonics just to, I know it says warm up, but really it's just a diagnostic tool for myself. So I'm just gonna see how I'm playing today. I did teach all morning, but I only played for like a hot second. It was a lot of chatting, a lot of kind of like discussing very real life musician things. So that involves a lot of chatting rather than, you know, like explaining flute concepts. So, okay, let's do this. funny when my chat goes insane. My chat widget, that is. Okay. Yeah, the high D is not coming out. I can feel I am just the slightest bit, very slight bit swollen. I'm going to guess it's from the caffeine. I could feel that if I didn't have that caffeine extra buzz, I would probably be able to do that high D. But I'm not going to push it today. I can tell in general, though, I am feeling a lot better. It's just that combination of not enough sleep plus I'm buzzed from coffee right now is, yep, definitely kind of putting an effect on me. But it's okay. It's aight. We'll be fine. So, yeah, I would say that that's kind of what we're working with right now. I am hitting that high G way more like exactly where it needs to be. So that did settle in my brain. Low C, I can feels pretty darn comfortable to me. It is sitting kind of on my lip again, which feels really good, likely because of the C foot joint. But yeah, like low notes feeling good. I also caught myself kind of going back to just playing with a lot of vibrato and, you know, not really leading with my air. So I added that in, like a couple harmonics in. So like kind of revisiting these ideas that we've been working on in the last few weeks, and it's all coming pretty fast. So I think we can just move on to the Moyse 480 exercises. So we'll do that and move the little highlight there so anyone joining in will know what we're up to. So, oh, picks in general in the general, excuse me, thread on Discord. Yay! I'll go check that later. Michael, your weekend was absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Did homework all day. Then Sunday, went out for all you can eat sushi. And then mahjong. So fun. Oh my God. Absolutely wonderful. You were productive and you spent time with friends and family. Honestly, in my opinion, can't have had a better weekend. Like that's ideal, man. That's really great. And for me, I made milk bread, Chinese milk bread. I kneaded it by hand. We do not have a stand mixer for the second time. So at the last time I made milk bread was like, I think in August? No, July. I think July. So I did it again, used a slightly different recipe. I think it came out even better, but there are some techniques from the first recipe that I now want to kind of like incorporate into this recipe. I am 5 years late in the bread making bandwagon. See, everyone was making bread 5 years ago in the height of COVID. Not me. I was not part of that trend. But for some reason, I'm just like really into making Chinese milk bread. So I've made it twice now, and it is fantastic. Very close, and you had another AP US history test today? Wow, that's so many tests. You know, now that you mentioned that, when my brother was taking AP US history, I swear he was having a test or a quiz like every other week. Every week, every other week. And so like the way that he would study is he would pace around his room and literally give a lecture to himself. Like he would teach himself the topics. And his lectures to himself were so engaging. I would actually sit outside his bedroom even though he had the door closed, but I could hear him because he was basically just lecturing to himself. They were so engaging. I would actually just sit there and listen to him. But he had to keep doing this because, you know, like you, he was having a test like every other week. Like it's insane. Oh my goodness. All the best. 6 credit hours, yes, please. It's true. You are going to save yourself a ton of headache when you get into university because you get those credits straight into university, right? Good for you, man. Good for you. Keep pushing through. We are here supporting you and cheerleading you. Yeah. So that's how my brother studied for it. He would just lecture at himself, just pace around his room lecturing at himself and teaching it to himself. This like, I remember it was like almost every day he would do this. Yeah. And it's just so engaging. It's not a surprise he became a professor. He's a professor now. Cause oh my God, it's great. I really liked listening to him just teach anything. Like it was a great time. I know it's kind of weird to be like, oh yeah, I grew up listening to my sibling lecturing himself. But yeah, very useful to decompress. I'm so glad, Vericosin. That's what I really want for these streams to be, like a place for you guys to breathe, you know, take a little breather, a break. It is for me too. So anyway, we're going to jump back into the Moyse 480 exercises. Today we're doing number 154. Looks like we are doing triads. And we are doing, in particular, a diminished triad. And we're just kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then a minor triad and then a major triad. So we'll give this a whirl and see how it goes. I think I'm just not going to put a lot of pressure on myself to like play it super perfectly. Like what I'm going to focus on right now is what is happening to me right now because I'm buzzed versus what is something that I need to work on that I can actually take with me into future sessions. So I'm trying to kind of delineate between the two. And this is something that I really want to encourage all of you guys at home who are practicing instruments or anything, like straight up you could be doing a sport or something, anything that requires muscle memory and stuff like that. There's always a balance that you have to strike between how are you doing that particular day versus what is a skill that you can take into every other session moving forward. So yeah. Oh, the occasional burst of laughter really helps. I'm so glad. Oh, that's exactly what I want these streams to be something that you guys can kind of put in the background and feel like you have company, you know? So like, oh, I'm so happy. That makes me really happy. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's just verbally analyze what I did there. I do kind of feel like I would like a little bit more smoothness in my pinky slide, and I'm thinking it might have to do a little bit with the placement of my thumb. I feel like if I place my thumb more so underneath my middle finger, that I will have more leverage with my pinky, because like if you guys try it at home on your own flute too, you'll notice that like the more your thumb, this really is only really applicable to people with small hands. If you have really large hands, this is going to be way too cramped for you. So if you have small hands though, okay, you'll find that if you put your thumb underneath your index finger and then you try to maneuver around the pinky fingers, the pinky keys that is, you have way less leverage. Whereas if your thumb is closer to your pinky, so underneath your middle finger instead, it's actually, you feel like you don't have to reach as far. So I think I want to work on that because that might help. And then I think I also want to, like, it didn't occur to me until like partway through. I was like, ooh, I should lead with my breath. And that seems to really help me get into those low notes, you know, without that kind of like weird bump, you know, where you go, like that. So like leading with my breath is kind of helping me slide through that a little bit better. So I think those are the two things I want to work on, but we're going to do the next triad. So we're going to do A minor now. Enjoy your lyric, Sean. Okay. See, Nicholas, this is why I am very specific about the fact that when I do some of these things that I do on the flute, it's legitimately just because I have small hands. Now, I know you have much larger hands than me. So I'm like, I don't actually recommend that you put your thumb under your middle finger because that would be the equivalent of me playing like this, like under my ring finger. Like it would feel that cramped. So don't do that if you have large hands. But yeah, you heard me backwards. Okay. So, but still, I don't recommend that people with large hands do this. I really don't, because I've seen what it looks like, and that looks way too cramped. So like the most that I would recommend if you have large hands is to put it between your middle and index like this. But yeah, if you like the smaller hand that you have, the more leverage you're going to have if your thumb is closer to the pinky side. So like if your thumb is underneath your middle finger, you'll have way more leverage. So I did notice that that was the case here. I'm not 100% sure if my thumb was actually underneath my middle finger. So I'm going to look back in this footage later and verify if that is the case. So that is one of the things that I really like about streaming my practice sessions, is because it's recording it for me. So I can actually go back and verify what I did versus what I didn't do. And it actually helps me a lot. So I do highly recommend, if you guys are not already, record yourself practicing, playing, whatever. And it doesn't have to be very much. Like what I find really helps my students is legitimately just like a 20-second excerpt from what they're practicing. Could be technique, tone, repertoire, etude, doesn't matter. Just like even just a 20-second video will give you so much information about how you play. It can also prompt you to ask some really good questions from your teacher. So like if you record yourself and you notice yourself doing something weird, now you have a nice productive question to ask in lesson. And it makes the lesson really engaging as a result. So for some reason, your brain thought that I said I put my thumb under my pointer for small hands. Yes, my thumb was under my middle finger. Wonderful. I do want to put it out there. Even you know, I've been doing this for a while, but like at a certain point when you're the one doing it, you're never 100% aware of what you're doing. So that's why it's so important to like record yourself, practice in front of a mirror, etc., you know. But yeah, okay, that was a lot easier for me. So I think today's kind of like hand posture thing is going to be me focusing on keeping my thumb closer to like underneath my middle finger so that I have that leverage to play. Again, small hand thing. Yeah. Oh my gosh, some of your friends put a little mirror on their stand, kind of like a rear view mirror. That's super cute. Is it like a little clip-on? That's so cute. Yeah. So like, honestly, if you guys want a really great way to record your sessions and not worry about storing them, I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can stream it to yourself as an unlisted video, and you don't even have to share it with anyone. The great thing about it is that it will be saved as a stream, as a video. You don't even have to really store it because it's just on your YouTube channel, you know? I think what you do have to do though is, I think you have to get your channel approved to make videos longer than, was it 15 minutes or half an hour, something like that? Like, you have to submit some form of identification so that they know that you're a real person. But if you get that approved and get past that part, you can just stream it to yourself unlisted. Yeah. Oh, so at Daiso, you can get a little like clip-on mirror. That's such a good idea. Okay, I know what to look for the next time I go to Daiso. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, Michael, it sounds like you had a great day. That's wonderful. I love it. Okay, moving on to the next one. So this one is going to be a major triad. Here we go. Am I under? I'm not. There we go. Oh. Yeah, I could feel that I was reaching way too far in the beginning, which was why I checked myself in my little OBS setup here. And I could see that my thumb was more so like between my pointer and my middle finger. So I think I really do need to practice keeping my thumb underneath my middle finger. I think when I'm lazy, I don't do it that way because I don't have to stretch so much for my pinky. But, you know, thinking in sort of like more applicable terms, like for example, the Ibert, like we are going to be revisiting the third movement right now. With so much going on technically in this third movement, I think I really need to keep in mind to like keep my thumb underneath my middle fingers, just so that I always have the option to reach around if I need to. Yeah, because yeah, I think right now my lazy position is like in between. So, okay, I will keep that in mind. But now I need to move my little highlight. All right, we're moving it down to the Ibert movement 3. So for anyone joining in who's wondering why my practice checklist is so short, it's really just because I have sensed that I need more kind of like an illusion of time and space to like really think things through without feeling like I'm rushed. And so I basically took what I used to do last year for my practice sessions and I chopped them in half. I chopped them into 2 practice checklists. And so I just alternate between the 2 right now. And yeah, I feel like this is way more relaxed for me. So, or even AutoZone. Oh, like actually get the little mirror from like an actual auto place. Oh, Michael, that's so sweet to say that if you feel like if I have a great day, then you guys have a great day. Positivity is very contagious. And that's something that you can do too. You know? Like if you like radiate that positivity, like even in your workplace, it helps other people have a great day too. So I encourage you to do that in your day-to-day life too. Oh, how fun, Michael, that you bumped into some flute friends over the weekend. Is that right? Wonderful. Ooh, Sean has more suggestions for other handy Daiso things. Strong magnets if your music stand is magnetic instead of clips. Oh, I like that. Any gamer-sized desk pads are big enough to lay your flute on? Yes. In fact, this pad situation here is it's a desk mat. It's actually for your keyboard and your mouse to go on it. Agree. Japanese supermarket Tokyo Central might also carry them. Ooh. So an auto parts shop, even a Walmart. That's what your undergrad prof did. I love it. Thank you for sharing these ideas. That is absolutely genius. I have told my students to get like little, like, you know those little desk mirrors, like, or like vanity mirrors, like the ones that have their own stand that you can just like put on your cabinet. But for some reason, it never occurred to me that those clip-on ones exist. Put some magnetic strips on the back of a mirror and magnetize it to your stand. I love that too. That one I've actually seen. I've actually seen some people straight up glue like a little tiny mirror. They just straight up glued it to their stand. I have seen that one. But I like the magnet idea because that means that you can take it off if you need to. That's so great. I love it. Okay. We will continue. We're now going to revisit the Ibert. So I'm going to try out the making sure that my thumb stays underneath my middle finger. We're just going to see how that goes. I'm also really trying to remind myself to lead with my support, lead with my breath. And let's see where that takes us. So I am going to, is this on? So if I go like this, okay, cool. Yes, I can navigate. It took me way too long to realize what the toggle repeat on or off was on my pedal. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but before I used to like constantly click it with my foot like this to make the page go down. What I realized the repeat means is that you can hold it down and it'll just hold down, like, for example, down arrow or up arrow, like you would on your keyboard. I did not realize that that's what repeat meant until literally a few weeks ago. So, oh well. Hey, I guess you live and learn. Let's see, Sean, you got one of those wireless selfie monitors using the main camera now instead of the selfie cam. Ooh. Is that what you put on like your phone so that you can see what your like back camera sees? Oh, okay. I like it. Or steal one of those platters that Reed people use on their stands. They are little mirrors, aren't they? Oh, I love it. I love it. It's magnetic, so you just stick it to the stand. Oh, that is a great, like, alternative use to that. I never thought of like getting like a mirror that's for your camera or for your phone, I guess. That's so cool. Thank you for sharing, man. I want to look for all these things in Daiso now. cool. Okay, let's give Ibert movement 3 a whirl and just see what happens. I might start and stop, might just kind of like think my way through it out loud, just so you guys know what's going on in my head. But let's take it bit by bit and see what happens. Okay. What was this one? Oh, I need to review this. Oh, yeah. It's coming back. It's coming back. Ooh, I forgot some of that. So the tremolo thing needed a second to come back to me. I was a little bit distracted by how it felt to keep my thumb underneath my middle finger, because weirdly, it was actually encouraging my pinky to stay curved, which ironically, like, yes, that's supposed to be the correct position for it, but my hand is not used to it. So it was like I was trying to make it straight because it's used to that, even though it's not good for it, while my thumb was underneath my middle finger. So there's a lot kind of going on where I'm like battling my bad habits, but I'm instilling a better habit right now. Oh gosh. It's all coming back to me now. Oh my God. Okay, no worries, Viracosin. Go ahead and lurk. We will be in your background. All good. Okay. Almost a decade since you've worked on the Ibert. I will someday get to the point where it's been a decade of me working on the Ibert, which is really scary to think about. Okay, but I will say, that is my main takeaway right now, is that, like, yes, I can see that the thumb underneath the middle finger, very much working, because great side effect is that it's keeping my pinky curved. But now I have to kind of, reprogram my default so that my default is not a straight pinky. I want my default to be that curved pinky because it's really relaxed when you do it that way. Relaxed means fast. So that is my main takeaway there. I am still buzzed, so I feel like if I do it again, it's not actually going to be much better, but we're going to take the lesson that we have just learned right now, put it in our heads, and apply it later. This very similar situation is going to come up again anyway in this movement, so it's not like we're not applying it. But we're going to keep going and kind of see what else we can find out. So this is kind of our main kind of lesson to ourselves right now. Trembles are the hardest part for sure. A lot easier with the C-sharp trill. Yes. Doing that, yeah. That's going to be interesting if I attempt this on my Meteki, because my Meteki does not have the C-sharp trill. So I would have to, I think, relearn those trills. Those tremolos, I mean. Yeah. Anyway, we will keep going. Okay. Okay. Extra note. Oh, right there. Right there, I can feel that I want to go to my default of like straightening out my pinky. I have to fight that right now. We're going to back it up a little. Fighting it. I agree that the new hand position is way more relaxed. Did you guys see me like fighting? Like, it's like my hand is so used to extending the pinky that it like wants to go to that in order to make this part happen. But like when I forced it to stay curved because my thumb is underneath my middle finger and thus I have more leverage, it was more relaxed, but my brain was working on overtime to try and keep it that way. So this definitely needs to kind of be worked into my new default way of playing for sure. I can definitely feel that it's way easier. Ultimately, I'm going to be able to go faster and have way more control. It's just that right now I'm buzzed and two, I'm not used to it. So yeah, wonder if I'd be even more comfortable if my thumb was a little further back. I can try that. We're going to continue and we'll try that and see what happens. Yeah. Because then maybe I won't, I like have something, have like at a slight angle, you mean, right? Like not fully pushing from the back, but just like if I'm at a slight angle, that might just kind of alleviate some of that, the temptation to kind of push like this on my pinky. Because if I'm pushing here, then I don't have to push here. Maybe that's it. Hi, Deanna. How are you? Yeah, kind of as if I have the thumb port on. Yeah. I wonder too. Let me try it in this next section. I'm also very curious. Okay. before we do that, we're going to swab. Yeah, so I'm not pushing the flute up with my right thumb. Exactly. I wonder if I need some sort of pushing action, and maybe that is what is encouraging my pinky to extend straight and push against the flute, you know? It could be. So if we get the thumb to push a bit, then I think it might alleviate that like temptation for the pinky to do it. Okay. You're okay, Deanna? That's great to hear. I hope that your day will be even better with us, you know, giving you a little space to breathe, all right? Okay. My left hand should be the counterbalance to the right hand pushing forward. Okay, yeah, because it already is. And I think that's why my pinky wants to push back this way, right? Okay. Notes. We'll take a break there. Wow. I agree with you. That's a great posture for me because that is the first time I'm feeling myself go through this section without this muscle right here engaging. Because usually it's like that. I can see my stamina going way more. Like I'll be able to play way longer without cramping with that position. You know what's funny is that I have told my students with small hands to do this. And I'm only now realizing how effective that is. Because really, I only used to do it for myself if I had to like play around with a lot of the pinky keys. I used to only do it then. So I would actually move my thumb around. What I'm realizing right now is that it just straight up makes my pinky relaxed. And I don't cramp up this muscle on this side of my palm. Hi, Duck. How are you? So Deanna, you're better now. Now that you have your tea and headphones on, listening to me while hiding from the fur kids. You have an elderly cat that is being super clingy and whiny today, and you needed a break. I feel it. I feel it. Like, sometimes you're just touched out, right? Like it's just too much, right? No, I feel it. You love them, but you're just touched out. I get it. I get it. It's okay. You can relax with us. You can take a breather with us. Ducky stayed after school for band. Fun. Fun. Excellent. And with the Rockshore group, I barely have to touch my flute. My fingers are just resting on the keys. That's exactly how I feel. It feels so weird. Like it's almost like, it feels like I'm not fully closing the keys. Like that's how light it feels. It's incredible. Like this means that I can go way faster once I'm used to this. I can go way faster, more agility, flexibility. Everything's good. Also, Michael, I see your little thing in the chat about Tumnus's lullaby. Thank you for being aware. I really appreciate it. It's okay. You don't need to worry about it. Yeah, it's just that Tumnus's lullaby just doesn't really fit in every review that I do. If we did it for every single review that I do, every review will start to be the same, because that's what I really realized when I was doing, like, you know, always using the Genshin Impact theme to test every single flute. I was noticing that it wasn't really highlighting what each flute is good at. So if I don't feel that Tumnus's lullaby will really highlight what that flute is going to be really good at, I'm not going to use it. It's the same as with really any other theme that I use to try flutes with. If I feel that it's really going to highlight the flute really well, then I will use that theme, especially now that I'm learning more and more themes. So I just want you to understand that, but I am very appreciative of the fact that you are self-aware that you may have been pushing something that I did not want to do. So it is true that I didn't want to use Tumnus's lullaby, but it's not because you're driving me crazy. It's because I didn't think that it was really appropriate to highlight that flute with, but I didn't want to take extra time to explain that because I have a very limited time to review flutes. So if I have to stop and explain, you know, like these kinds of like side things that don't actually make it into the actual review of the instrument, that takes away a lot of precious time. But we're relaxing here, so I can explain it to you here. All right, so I have a lot of time to explain it here, but that was why. All right, Michael, so I just want you to know that that's what's happening, okay? But you can drop that now. You don't have to keep making sure that you're not driving me crazy. You're fine, okay? You're fine. All right, back to the Ibert. We're going to do the next section now. And this section, for sure, I was definitely doing with like the crazy extended pinky. So thank you, Michael. Wonderful. I love that we're all on the same page. So I'm going to start, if you guys are following along, I'm going to be starting from Q56. And ooh, this section for sure, I was doing the like crazy extended pinky. So this part is going to feel really weird to me. We'll see what we make of it. that is another part I have to figure out. So what I am noticing is that in some occasions, I do need to stretch this way. So I'm trying to see if it's possible. Yeah, I think I need to actually use my wrist to reach over, because that can keep my ring finger curved. So I'm going to go back a little bit, try it out, see if I'm right. It does work. I am not used to it. Like, I can tell it's going to be so nice, because turning like this in order to reach the like C sharp trill and stuff like that, it is essentially the same side of the other side of the same coin as, like, you know how, do you guys know this trick where you use your wrist to trill your pinky key? So if you're doing D to E flat trill, you actually use your wrist to trill like this. So I'm actually, yeah, you trill from your wrist / bigger muscles. Exactly. So I'm just going the other way because my thumb is like in the middle of my hand, right? So I'm actually just going the other way. And that's keeping my pinky curved. But oh lordy, I am not used to that. I am not used to that. Okay, we'll try it one more time just for fun. But I can tell that this is something that I need to just kind of like really think about in my future sessions. So here we go. Better. I think I can still maybe get more used to like playing with a little bit more evenness. I think unfortunately in the spots where I'm trilling like 3 trill fingerings at the same time, that one I might need to stretch my pinky, but I need to remember to move back to my new default position. So that's what I'm going to go with for now until I come up with a better solution. Always a work in progress, but let's finish off this movement. Hmm? What? Whoops. This might not be correct now. That's way too flat. Let's see. I think we'll figure it out at that last note at another time. But, so I have a situation here where I think in the cadenza, I want to figure out how I can keep my pinky more relaxed in that one section, like that bit. So I'm going to try that a bit and then we'll call it for today. Okay, that's coming back to me. That's coming back to me. Onto middle. Okay, what we found out last time was that it works a little differently on a C foot joint. That's what we found out. Well, 1, 2, middle. Yeah, that's what I did before. Right? I think that's what I did. I have that written, but with also this down. But let's try without it. I need that ring down. This one. I need it down. My question is, what if I put both down? Because that would open up this key. Let's try it. No. No. Yeah, it's only really coming out when oh, should I half hole it? You're saying half hole instead of full hole? Okay, all right, I'll try that. Is that more in tune? What I did earlier worked. Okay, then that was the full hole open. Okay. Okay, I'll work on that. So I think what I have to do is get used to sliding it open. So I have to go, I'll figure it out. at least we know what it is I want to do. So I'm going to now start cleaning up. Here we go. Okay, so we learned some good stuff here. Deanna, I noticed that you mentioned that you probably have to kind of like go back and rewatch to look at the hand position thing. Let me just recap that because part of it is I'm just recapping it for myself. Wow, this is so relaxed. I've never felt it so relaxed after playing the third movement of Ibert. We did a couple of things. One is that you have to understand that even though, yes, we're holding up the flute, not all of the force that you're putting on the flute to hold it up is going upwards like this. It's more going at an angle like this. So your left hand is actually more so holding up the flute at an angle. So there is a little bit of this kind of like horizontal pushing action, but some of it. So it's like, if anything, is more of like an angle coming up. But that means that you need to have another force also kind of holding it up from the other side this way, right? And that's where your thumb comes in. Your thumb can come in to like not fully hold up the flute on top of it, but have it sort of pushing like at an angle. So there's a little bit of like horizontal pushing action, but you are also still kind of like aiming it upwards like this. And that cancels out, like that balances out the pushing action on the left hand. And then that way you can play the flute super, super relaxed. But for me, the big thing was my new default needs to be, my thumb needs to be right under the middle finger in order for my pinky to remain curved. So yeah, I think that's huge. And I'm very, very excited about that. That seems to be kind of my next step to kind of taking me to the next level. Really, really fun. I think as well, what I'm really noticing is that, like, how do I explain this? Like, I feel like I could not do this posture even though I wanted to before, because this is not the first time I've visited the possibility of doing this posture. But I think the reason why it is so successful right now is because of the fact that I have a C-foot joint, I think. I legitimately think that that is why it's so successful now, because there's way less weight that's kind of, you know, kind of like weighing the flute down on my right side. And so it's much easier for me to actually kind of do that pushing action at an angle. Yeah. That sounded flat that time. The beauty of F7 on flute. I know. I think we still need to figure out that F7, but we'll leave that for another session. Today's session is really focused on the hand posture, and I think we got it. We got it, but we need to turn it into my default. If I have some time, what is a good way to get motivated to practice more? Hang out with us, Justin. You just need to be with people who are also nerding it out, and then you'll want to nerd it out too. Like that's what I've really found. Like, that's why these practice sessions are so good for me too, because, you know, me being nerdy encourages you guys to be nerdy, which is reflected back at me. And then, like, you know, it builds that curiosity, you know, the natural curiosity of, oh, let's try this. Let's, you know, what happens when we do this? And so you want to nurture curiosity. That's how you will want to practice more, right? Because, like, why would you want to practice, right? At the bottom of it, what makes you want to practice? And what makes you want to practice is because you just want to try things. It's not just that you want to get good, okay? Like, it's not about getting good. It's not about, well, yeah, I guess it's somewhat about getting good, but, like, it's not just about that. Like, it's the learning, it's the curiosity, it's the, like, someone, you know, your teacher or someone else taught you a fun, like, technique or a better way to do things. And so, you know, you want to try it now, right? Like, it's that very childlike thing where, you know how kids, when they learn a trick or something, they're like, hey, watch. And then they like show their friends, and then their friends are like, whoa, cool, how'd you do that? And then the first kid's like, so you do it like this and you do it like this. And then they like, these kids will just spend their entire recess hour just like teaching each other, learning from each other, practicing, and like that's that level of curiosity that you want to foster. And that is what's going to make you want to practice. So that's why I said just hang out with us. Because, we'll be the flute players in your life that are just full nerd, and we will encourage you to nerd with us. So, yeah, see, Nicholas is practicing right now too. Like legitimately, these streams are for you guys to just kind of put in the background while you're working, doing chores, practicing, whatever. And it's really just a safe space for you guys to hang out with me. That's really it, So, so Deanna, you have a B foot joint. You're going to play around with it anyways with this positioning. If you have slightly bigger hands than me, you probably can do it. It's just that I am small, very small. And the weight of a B foot joint is really just, for the most part, it's too much for a person my size. Like it's too much. It's too much weight on one side. So perhaps if the entire flute was lighter, so like let's say that the whole flute is like silver plated or even just silver compared to gold, it might actually be light enough for me. Because like what I do notice is that when I play my Trevor James copper alloy, which is copper, the copper I feel is much lighter than my rose gold. And as a result, I do actually find that the B foot joint is weight-wise is not as terrible for me to hold up. But woo, like full rose gold, woo, heavy. And like I just, I think it's just kind of past the point of like what my body can hold up in a relaxed position, So anyway, let me put this in the shot for you guys. You're welcome, Justin. Like I just want to provide a really nice space for you guys to just, be that pure, curious nerd. I think it's really important to nurture that because, yeah, like as you say, like why else do we want to practice, Because honestly for me, man, if my only reason to practice is to get good and play things perfect, oh, burnout, man. I'll just burn out so quickly. And there's been so many times in my life that I've just burned out because of that. Just because like after a while, it's kind of like, what's the point? Like we will never actually achieve perfection. So if the goal is perfection and we will never achieve it, what's the point? Full on existential crisis, So like I have switched my focus to be, I want to learn something new, right? And you're always going to accomplish that when you practice. You're always going to like see something new, find something new. When you go to a lesson, you're going to be taught something new. And so you just want to learn something new. You just want to try something else, learn something new, learn a new technique, learn a new posture, learn a new like tone thing. Like for me, it's like leading with my breath, and I've got this hand position thing. These are my two new things right now. And my God, is it making practicing so exciting, because every single time I come into practice, I'm like, ooh, I want to try this now, And it like gives me something to kind of nerd about in the shower too. Like legit am nerdy enough that in the shower, I'm like, oh, I should try breathing like this in this part. And I should like, because the focus now is this new exciting thing that I'm practicing. You want to be a music teacher. Oh, Justin. Like when this, like fostering your own curiosity will make you such an amazing teacher. So foster that curiosity right now. Start like really nurturing your own curiosity, and like really choose to be joyfully nerdy about what we do on the flute. Because my God, that will make you an amazing teacher. Like, students love it when the teacher is curious, you know? It makes you a better teacher. It helps you learn about your students too. So you're also learning clarinet, perfect. Something new. You always have something new. Yeah. You always have the aha moment in the most random parts of the day. Yes, exactly. And they very often happen in the shower because you have absolutely nothing else to think about. You're just kind of forced to let your mind wander, you know? Shower thoughts are the best thoughts, in my opinion. So, ooh, thank you for this link. I'm going to watch it later. So Jess Petrusik talks about her 2-foot joints, her feet joint. Thank you. Wonderful. I put that in the background so I can watch that after the stream. But yeah, so I had so much fun today. What a delightful breath of fresh air in the middle of my workday. So thank you all so much for joining me today. That was super fun. Tomorrow we have a really fun review. We will be reviewing Flute Masters Company. So they have 2 flutes that they are now selling through the Flute Center, and they are in this room. So I will tell you guys more about my experience with Flute Masters tomorrow. I don't want to spoil it here, but it is very exciting. And I'm thrilled. I am thrilled that they are starting to be sold in the States. I feel like they are filling a niche, is what I would say. Like, they're filling a gap, and they're filling like a need in the industry and in the market. So I'm very, very excited to share that with you guys tomorrow. Flute Masters turns on lightsaber. Yes. So yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow. Let me just check my calendar again. Yes, it is tomorrow. So yeah, it is going to happen tomorrow. And so I will see you guys then. So it will be 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and we'll be going for a few hours. That's going to be super fun. But yeah, that is a good place to stop for me. So as always, want to make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves. Stay happy, healthy, and safe, because there is no music without the musician. So again, something I mentioned earlier in this stream, every time you come into practice, really make sure that you understand that you are a certain unique way today, that you will not be tomorrow, but there are certain skills that you can practice in the today that you can take with you into the tomorrow. And give yourself grace, okay? Because there's this, you know, for example, tomorrow or on Thursday when I play, I am going to try not to be buzzed with coffee, right? That will yield slightly different results, and I'm very excited for that. I'm very, very excited to see what stays the same between this session and the next session. You know, it's all a big experiment. It's super fun. So have grace with yourselves, okay? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you all very much. See you later. Bye.